I ain't show no one my heart but you. I ain't give no one nothing but you. I gave you my all, but what did you do for me? That's Aquarius type shit. And like we on a roll right now because the basic needs and the basic wants that we have are pretty fucking achievable. I would say you don't want nothing from no one, but everyone wants something from you. And that's something that I have a really hard time as an Aquarius, and I think y'all also have a really hard time with it as well. You create a air around you where you make people feel safe, but then the moment that judgment calls, so karma is rolling through and people are acting up and acting the fool, and they're not listening, they keep being ignorant, it's like the whole situation changes. Everything morphs. It becomes a matter of jealousy. It becomes a matter of envy. People look to you for guidance when you cannot simply guide them. You simply do not have the guidance for anyone but yourself, and that has created almost like this codependent or like ankle biter energy. And I'm gonna say ankle biter because I feel like it's that disrespectful, right? I'm saying ankle biter as a means of, vampirism. You can't have this like happening around you and also be focused on you and your bag. And that's what I'm gonna say. You can't have the best of both worlds where chaos meets stability. Like those two things do not come together. One is one time I'm sure you felt the same, okay? Like at one time I feel like you felt like, I'm gonna go off on my own and do my own thing and not worry about the chaos. Fuck everybody that's involved with the chaos. I'ma leave. And Aquarius goes through this at least once or 10 times in their lifetime where they make the decision to leave a situation that just wasn't right for them. It wasn't made for them. It wasn't created for them. It was karmic, and they know all of that. Whether it be family, lovers, or whatever the relationship is, it was what it was, and you walked away from it because you knew it was a situational bullshitter situation. It's just situational. It just, hey, you couldn't have like put yourself in a worse scenario if you kept being around that one thing. But there comes a time in Aquarius' life where they also like to go back and repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Not because it itches that scratch, not because it feels good, but because it hurts. It's a reminder almost of like, I'm a human with human feelings or human emotions, and though I struggle with those human emotions, like I want to feel real again, or I want to feel like I'm there, like I'm actually here, centered, planted with my feet on this planet. Like, so, because sometimes I don't feel that way. As an air sign, sometimes we don't feel that way. Sometimes we feel like the whole world is like in a daze, or it's a dream around us. And when in reality, like, it's you that's in the daze. Okay, and it's not because you caught up or anything like that, and you're not stupid or anything like that. You just get caught up at other people's situations, And I think to make yourself feel so emotional, okay, not only are you making yourself feel emotional, you're making yourself feel small. Those two things just don't mix within Aquarius. Okay, you guys have very specific energy. You're a very specific sign. You have a very particular means of getting to where you need and what you need, and that's not going to match up with everybody's realistic expectations. Your realistic expectations are something very, very different from their realistic expectations. Okay, what you view as their expectations might not be your idea of like a life. You know what I mean? It might not be your idea of a relationship. Might not be your idea of having a child. It might not fit in whatever coat you're trying to make it fit in. Eventually, Aquarius can come to the conclusion, and eventually y'all are, or even now, y'all are coming to the conclusion that if it don't fit, don't wear it. If it don't fit, don't wear it. And you are not a traditional sign whatsoever. So sometimes y'all can make shit that don't fit work. Like, you can look good with that shit, or you can feel good with that shit, but you also know it's a temporary bliss thing. It looks good and feels good for the moment, and then that shit switches up on you like the flip of a dime. Like, it just doesn't feel real no more. Okay, and it feels like this is all a dream, and I need to be waking up. Like, now, like, preferably now, right? That's what it feels like. So you're gonna be the asshole. No matter where or what you're trying to do right now, you will look like or feel like the asshole at the end of all this. Okay, because you're choosing the absolute. Okay, you're choosing something so absolute, so absolutely. Yeah, maybe you find your love in God or religion, or you find your love in spirit, or you are looking to yourself for self-love, self-fulfillment. Whatever it is, it's absolute. You are not going to allow your enemies to handicap you anymore. You're not going to allow the people who drain you to handicap you anymore, even if they're not doing it intentionally. That's exactly what they do. Even existing in your presence, in your air, in your vicinity. Okay, they are like a bog that rolls through. And once that bog is done bitching and moaning, once that bog is done being annoying or sick or depressed or neglectful or abusive, once that bog is done doing their thing, they think they don't even think about what effects it has on you. They don't give a fuck what effects it has on you, to be honest with you. They rather just let you suffer. That's basically what I'm seeing. They rather let you suffer on behalf of their bullshit. You care for so much for people that I feel like sometimes that just doesn't click for you. You're like, well, I choose to care. So choose not to. Aquarius. Well, I choose to care for this person. I chose to care for that one and they hurt me. Well, keep choosing not to care about the situations that act like these, the situations that drag you down like this whole situation. The sun and the swords right here. I can't see a condition of where you would even want to survive in this environment, or the fact that you're not more angry than you actually are right now is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? I feel like this is a situation that you're going to have to reflect on after you're out of this situation. I don't think you can keep sitting in it without feeling doubt, feeling stress, feeling regret, feeling like almost too comfortable, not too comfortable, but too soft, too comfortable in your own bullshit, too comfortable in your emotion, too much emotion, too much anger. It's that one emotion. That's not a bad thing. It's not a hateful thing, but it can become that. That's for sure. If you let it get out of check, it can become that. And then everything that you've built with these people, whether it be a boundary, whether it be a wall, or maybe you want to build away from them, that's not going to work. That's not going to happen. The tower hits. And once the tower hits, all of the things that you built come crumbling down in order to just rebuild again. Because something in your foundation is sticking out. It's fucked up. It's not supposed to be there. But you don't register that in the moment. And because of that, the spirit has to give you that shove, that push right off the top of that tower in order to remind you how human you really are. And how humans need breaks, or they need to break away from situations that don't suit them, or how humans can maybe lack a little bit of integrity. And this is not you lacking the integrity. You have the integrity, okay, to live, to survive, to push forward. I just feel like the person or persons that surround you right now, they don't. Okay, they don't have the skills. They don't have the skill set to keep surviving on their own. And so they rely on you to survive for them. And because of that, they end up dishing out every single thing that they deal with in their life onto you. And they make you feel guilty. They make you feel like shit because of the shit choices they made in their life. Okay, and it's not going to cut it no more. So when I show you the sun, that's representative of the self-love. Okay, self-focus. This is not love towards everybody. This is love towards self. Okay, it's love towards you. And you needed this love. Or there's someone out here who's willing to love you who isn't this person. Okay, who aren't these people. And that person is sitting out here waiting for you to walk down the right path. While you're waiting in the wrong situation, right? Waiting on the wrong bench, right? You're in the wrong, you're in the wrong, you know what I mean? You're stuck at that red light. It's not going to turn green until you turn around and make that other, you walk down that other path, or you drive down that other path. Okay, that one you looked at and you was like, you know, I'm not ready for this, or this is kind of fucked up, and I hate that shit. No, I don't like not knowing, and then this is the thing: when you look at the path, you really don't know where it's gonna go, and that's why you chose something you were familiar or comfortable with. But now you gotta turn your ass all the way back and go down that other path that you never looked at, you never reached, because you was afraid to reach it. And that's what fucking blows about this shit, Aquarius. We can't know everything, though we want to, though we wish. We can't know everything. And that's the thing about, you know, the future and fate and how success comes about. 99% of the peoples that will find success in their life, they accept the unknown and keep moving on. They accept that they're scared or fearful. Okay, they're fearful of change and they keep moving on. That's those who come from nothing. We're not talking about the people who had that like pre-spoon in their mouth. We're talking about the people who come from the bottom and work their way all the way to the top. There's a lot of not knowing within that situation. There's a lot of things that have never been done in your generation and your time, with your people, with your family. There's things that have been never done amongst your crowd. And you're going to be the first to do that, to step up to it or stand up to the plate. A lot of those people who have never done this before will try to tell you how it's done. Okay, they'll try to spark a idea in your head, but you should be doing the sparking. And when those ideas from other people start creeping in, or those doubts and those fears start creeping in, other people's fears, other people's wants, other people's needs, it destroys what you are trying to build. Stability, because they will never want to be stable. They never have made they never made the effort. Okay, like I said, they have no integrity whatsoever. There is no foundation there. There is no safety. There is no strength. Okay, no stability. No stability. And let me draw one more card out just because I feel like justice. Karma, there she is. She's always so beautiful. She's always so beautiful. She's always so serene. Because in every single deck, she means the same exact thing. There is no changing this. There is no changing this. There is no changing justice. When justice rolls through, when people stand on what they say, when you stand on what you say, that shit rolls forwards. Without anybody on the fucking train, without anyone on the bus with you, that shit rolls forward. When you stand on it, separate yourself from the toxic cancer that is these people. And maybe it is a cancer that you're dealing with. Maybe it's a water sign that you're dealing with. Maybe it's another air sign that you're dealing with. But truthfully, who gives a fuck who you dealing with and what's their creed, what's their color, what's their attraction to you, what their sign is? Who gives a fuck who they are? It's time to figure out who the fuck you are. And the only motherfucking way you gonna do that is by cutting out the cancer. Okay? Cut out the old, the trauma. Okay? Don't give them jurisdiction over your life. Don't give the past jurisdiction over your life. Don't let it dictate the choices that you make today. Because the choices that you make today should be your own and are your own. The Empress and the World and the Upright, they are your own. Okay? You choose to be in love with certain people. You choose to be sensitive towards certain people. This is a choice that we make. Regardless of if you ignore that internal desire, the internal lust, the lusting for all things bad and negative, or the bad boy, the bad girl, or like the certain type of people that you like to choose to be around. When you ignore that feeling of like lusting for something exciting, something almost, it's like you're wanting the trauma, you're wanting the darkness of the situation, you're wanting to go back to rekindle, you're wanting to go back to sort things out and apologize. Like all of these feelings, all those emotions that are internal, your internal system reacting from your past, your abusive, neglectful, or fucked up and just completely decimated, system. Like your system internally is wrong. Okay. But your brain tells you need to leave. Your brain tells you to flee. It gives you the fight or flight response for a reason. Because it's telling you this isn't right for you. But you stand on that soapbox. You stand in that situation. You stand on it. You stand on all these people for what though? You know, they don't even. You know, this is the thing with the Empress, right? She don't. At people who are unworthy, she don't even she don't even blink. Okay, she don't even flap an eyelash. Okay, she don't even know that these people exist. She ignores the fact that they exist. She separates herself for her own happiness. She knows that she's royal, you know? Like, she knows that she's on top of her shit. It's just she also knows that that comes with the price of sometimes singularity, of individualism, of being the only one. The only one. The one person. The one person with the time to do what you need to do what you want to do. The one person in your life who can love, who can cherish, who can claim, you know, their freedom. You're the one person who can do that. And I just want you to know that this is why it's so difficult. It's because it's a path that's meant to be traveled alone. Okay, your success is not everyone else's success, and it's not going to come from the same place. Though you can inspire people, you can, you know, be grateful towards the people who got you to the point where you're at now. But what you can't do is give them the credit that has been built on your back. Okay, the healing and the happiness and the strength all comes from you. Okay, the world. Okay. You was born with it. You was born with this seed in your head. You was just born with it. Okay, Aquarius. And that's the type of focus I need, is that y'all need to focus on the fact that most of these things that are happening to you are circumstantial or environmental or just situational, and they're very extremely complicated. But what's not complicated, and what you know, is that the success, the love, the creativity, the tenderness, the preciousness, the passion that comes from being you is only your own. That does not come from the environment or the situation or the people. Okay? That comes from you. That's been given to you. You was born with that, you know. You was born with it. Okay? That's why no one else around you is like you, or feels like you, or looks like you, or sounds like you. It's because it was your own. You created it. Okay, Aqua?